Hello, my name is Ali Luba. I'm the Chief Product Officer at Red Vector, and I'm going to review today our insider risk management platform named Fulcrum. We are in our 4th generation of this product. We've been working over the last 8 years with some of the most mature insider risk programs in the industry to work with them to define their specific needs and processes and being able to operationalize to the specific needs of insider risk practitioners. So starting off on the dashboard here, you can see that it is easy to use. In terms of, there's a couple of things you can start with at the top. You can start with various different risk models that are defined through the user interface by each organization. So those can be laid out by use cases. So you can have a model specific to physical sabotage or data exfiltration or fraud specifically. And then some of the models only apply to either complete population or some subset of your population as well. So you can look at, for example, the fraud model specific to finance or certain models specific to your engineering department. Or you can start with an employee search, specific employee that you've got a tip off or concern reported by their manager. On the top level here, you have high-level metrics related to the model that you chose. So number of individuals that have been assessed, how many data sources, how many risk indicators, over how many records, as well as built-in case management for the insider risk team to use as part of their triage and inquiry process. So identifying number of persons of concern that were reviewed, how many cases were opened, as well as high-level metrics around what are the top risk indicators for that particular population that was being assessed. So this helps in training and awareness to make it more focused, as well as provide you overall visibility. Is the organization mitigating risks over time? And then in terms of identifying individuals to be able to intervene prior to that hostile act starting, you would start at these bar graphs, and this identifies individuals, my top 25 individuals, persons of concern, against these particular risk indicator categories. For example, access to critical assets, data exfiltration, financial distress, flight risk. This first person here is listed in this table of those individuals. You can see that their name is masked. So Fulcrum was built from the ground up with significant governance, privacy auditing, which helps in ensuring that this application is approved in a timely manner by your privacy and legal teams. So what the analysts would need to do here is to provide a justification on why do you want to unmask who they are. There's also an option to have a second approver role to approve the reason or justification of why you want to unmask this individual. And all of these actions are auditable by an auditor role, which is also key to the platform. Once the individual has been unmasked, you are provided basically with a single pane of glass that gives you all the information as an analyst and be able to assess, what do I want to do next? Is there a response required at this time? So Mr. Dickerson is our person of concern. There's biographical information at the top. There you can toggle between his results of various models. And now you can go down and assess each one of the particular risk indicator categories that Mr. Dickerson scored against. And then you can drill down to individual risk indicators. So he has emails outside of his normal behavior, high-risk emails sent, USB usage data from a data loss prevention product, and so on. You can see comparisons against his peers in terms of where he was relative to the riskiness of his particular peer group. And then you can drill down to the actual raw data or the basis for this risk. And this is nicely aggregated into a single page where you can see the data across all those different data sources of information that were ingested. And you can download this as an Excel for other analysis or post-analysis. So this saves a lot of time for the analysts in that they're not now going out and logging into 5 or 10 different applications, or having to go request this data or getting this data on Excel spreadsheets and managing this all in Excel. So it really takes the grunt work out of the daily job that an analyst needs to do. So it really changes the paradigm where they used to spend 90% of the time collecting data and not having enough time to analyze data. This automates that whole process and makes them a lot more effective and productive in being able to spend 100% of their time analyzing results. Once their analysis is complete, up here at the top, they can go and select what their review concluded. If it was that this person's been reviewed, but there's no concerns, you can baseline or sideline their behavior until the risk score increases by some amount, or they want to take another look at them and say next 30 or 60 days. You can also take notes, keep track of what you've seen over time. You can even attach screenshots or other data as part of their inquiry or analysis. And then lastly, you can take responsive action. So if there's something nefarious that you want to revoke this person's either network access or physical access, you could do that through this screen. Or there's other actions to downstream applications you can do. For example, you can open up a case. You can make your cyber IT related products a lot smarter, or applications a lot smarter, by providing various risk scores that take in the contextual and human behavioral type risk indicators. You could do that either through a SOAR or directly as a threat feed into a SIM. Or you want to go collect more data about Mr. Dickerson. For example, you want to put enhanced monitoring through a UAM application related to Mr. Dickerson, or go collect data from public records providers or social media data providers for those individuals. So essentially that closes the loop in terms of starting with a person of concern on the dashboard, doing that analysis, and then making certain responsive actions or decisions to then be able to either clear or respond to this particular risk or threat that you're seeing.